What's up, co-reporters? Welcome back to my channel. I've got a breaking news story. This is hot off the press. In fact, it's a story from the Globe, okay, about Kate Middleton and someone who works inside of the palace, a very high up position in the palace, has officially said something that is going to leave you guys shocked. Because up until now, the only things that you guys have been hearing, and myself as well, are opinions from people who are royal commentators or people on YouTube like myself, bloggers, podcasters, etc. But now someone who works inside of the palace in a senior position has told something to the Globe, and they used a very, very, very serious word, and I'm talking about the D word, you guys. It's how many letters is this? A 4-letter word that would be very, very devastating if true. And I feel like to be a royal courtier, you would have to be so careful about what it is that you say, what it is that you put out there, because it's in your best interest to keep this monarchy going. So in my opinion, for a courtier to go on the record and say this, it's huge. And it's devastating and it's shocking and it's sad. And I feel like I'm gasping for air at the possibility of this even being true, because I truly, truly hope that it is not true. But it feels like now things are starting to trickle down. Like we're starting to get, more and more serious hints. I made a couple of videos about this last week, 2 videos about like certain hints that have been dropping. And the hints that keep dropping, you guys, are getting worse and worse and worse. It feels, you guys, it really, really does. And I hate to say this, but it feels like we might not see Kate. So let's first talk about the source, okay? Because I want to make it very, very clear for people who this source is and how seriously this must be taken, okay? So a royal courtier went to the Globe with this quote, and a royal courtier is someone who attends and serves a monarch or other member of a royal family. So this is someone who either works for King Charles, they could work for Queen Camilla, they could work for Prince William, they could work for Princess Kate. They could work for, pretty much anyone in this royal family. But with this person being a senior courtier, I feel like they most likely work for Charles or Camilla. So they basically make up the king or queen's inner circle. You guys, this is as inner circle as you can get. Historically, the royal court was the center of government and social life. So courtiers often played important roles in both. There were different types of courtiers: people with official positions, the monarch's favorites, and nobility. So people with official positions, these folks had specific duties within the court, like chamberlain or secretary. The monarch's favorites, these were people the king or queen particularly liked and trusted, and they might not have had an official job but wielded influence. Nobility, being the final category, are often members of the nobility would spend time at court to gain favor with the monarch. So either way you slice it, in whichever of these 3 categories this person falls in, they are close to Charles, Camilla, and most likely William and Kate as well. So keep that in mind as we get into what it is that this person said, okay? Because it is very, very serious stuff. Here's a direct quote. "The silence about Kate's health crisis, believed to be ovarian cancer, is deafening. A well-placed senior courtier dish to the Globe. We're terrified Kate's way worse than the royals are saying. Could we wake up one morning and find she suddenly passed?" Guys, when I saw that, my jaw dropped to the ground, because I feel like that's not something that you just throw around lightly, especially when you are in such a senior position. Like, for them to be calling this out, here's the thing. As a courtier, it's in this person's best interest to keep the faith in the monarchy, to keep the monarchy going, because their social status depends on it, their job depends on it, their entire life, their identity depends on this. So for them to be going to the press and saying that Kate has potentially, let me put that back up there and reread it for you guys. "We're terrified Kate's way worse than the royals are saying. Could we wake up one morning and find she has suddenly passed?" Wow. I feel so sad. I feel so, so, so sad to have read that. Like, I'm just so shocked. It really, truly feels like, just based on the way this is being handled versus the way Charles's cancer is being handled, something is off, right? And for people who are a part of this institution to go out and say that they're afraid to find out that one day, find out one day that Kate has suddenly passed. Like, that is huge. That is alarming, you guys. It truly, truly, truly is. And by the way, they're saying that it's believed that Kate has ovarian cancer. She hasn't yet disclosed, but that's what it appears to be based on certain sources going around. So someone else said Kate's disappearance has even generated palace whispers that she's been secretly hospitalized for severe emotional issues and will never be able to resume her role at William's side. This is something that the courtier is saying as well. Like, this courtier is really going in on the situation, right? All the secrecy is devastating and points to an impending disaster for the monarchy. They're signaling, they're sounding the alarm bells. There's a disaster. They cannot keep hiding this woman for long. More and more people are going to wake up to the fact that something is not right here based on the messaging versus the way things are being handled, right? And what do they call that? A disaster, an impending disaster for the monarchy. Again, when you read between the lines, it feels like they're saying that there was a lot of stuff going on. It's not just cancer, right? It could be emotional issues as well. And, that the cancer is potentially worse than we are being led to believe. And that's why this person who works in the palace is afraid of, waking up one day and getting that sort of, heavy, devastating news about Kate and, her state. My gosh, guys. I did a couple of videos last week about this situation and how, like, the stories coming out are just all so conflicting. They're not adding up. They're not making sense. And it feels like certain people within the house are briefing against Kate and trying to lay the groundwork for people so that it's not so shocking if this sort of news were to drop, at a certain point. And I just hate that it just keeps on coming closer and closer. One of my videos was called Kate Middleton is Spiraling. So in that video, if you go ahead and watch it, what was said in that last article? It was said that Kate is now spiraling because she doesn't know who she is without her title. And I said in that video, it's very weird. It feels like they're hinting that something is happening. I always said that perhaps it was a divorce situation, but they're saying that she's spiraling without her title. She doesn't know, she feels like she's not as useful to the royal family anymore. And she's scared of, like, who she would be without her title, which I found to be very crazy, because why would she lose her title unless she and William are going to divorce? There are just so many, questionable stories coming out. But, the questionable stories I'm referring to are the ones that claim, oh, like, she goes out, like, she does these little jogs, she does these late night swims, she goes, grocery shopping with her family in secret. Meanwhile, no one has, like, photographed her or anything like that, right? Like, that type of stuff. But wow, for a courtier, and again, I'm going to put up this definition of what that is and how high up that person is within the pecking order, to go and make these sorts of comments, right? Semi on the record, they're putting their position on the record, but not their name. And they're saying these things, like, that's major. So there's something else that was being said here, you guys, outside of, the possibility of Kate potentially. And I don't even want to say it because, you guys, it just hurts my heart so much. I don't even want to say it, you guys. I will put it back up there. Could we wake up one morning and find out that she suddenly passed? Like, it's just, oof. It's very painful to think, and then they talk about, severe emotional issues, right? Now, let's get into something else. Surprisingly, there was no personal statement. In the screen grab, what they were referring to, what the courtier was referring to, was how messed up the palace's messaging was and how nonsensical it was. So they were saying, oh, Kate has been working from home. She's been doing all this stuff for that early childhood development thing that she's been working on for the past several years. Meanwhile, they released a report. Kate was not mentioned. Kate did not do any forward. Kate made no mention of this at all. So it felt like they were lying. She wasn't working on it then, if there was nothing attached to her, right? So surprisingly, no personal statement from Kate, and the palace admitted she won't be returning to duties anytime soon. So why is the palace now saying that she's not returning to duties anytime soon? Meanwhile, earlier they said that she's working from home, she's handling meetings at home, and that she had a part in some of the new stuff coming out from this childhood development initiative, right? So there's a cover up going on. So now this is somebody separate, somebody different, making some statements saying, what is the palace trying to hide about Kate? I don't believe anything until we see her. She was the most photographed woman in the world, and there hasn't been a single picture of her going to or from the hospital for treatment. This suggests there's much more to the story than the palace is letting on. There you go, you guys. People are slowly but surely waking up to the fact that this entire ordeal is just not making sense. Something serious has gone on. Something serious is going on, and it's not what the palace is claiming it is, because we would not be so confused. There would not be so many contradictory messages if it were what they claimed it were. Okay, you guys? And it must be really, really bad for senior members in the pecking order to go on the record and jeopardize the stability and the future of the monarchy, to accuse them of staging like lies, lying to the public, you guys, staging cover-ups, manipulating the public. It's serious. They are sounding off the alarm bells right now for us. So pay very, very close attention as stories about Kate continue to seep out. I believe that they're going to try to cover this up, try to bury this, but I just wanted to make sure to get it out to you. But, you know, trust and believe they will try to bury this, or they will try to come out with something in order to disprove this, in order to calm people, because I feel like this new story that has come out is only going to energize people to ask the palace for more answers, to try to hold them accountable for this. Gosh, you guys, again, I really hope that it's not the case, you know, that we just read that the courtier believes could be the case, you know, and I really, really hope that that's not it. You know, I wouldn't be surprised if it were emotional issues or something to do with a divorce or whatever, because again, they've been releasing many stories talking about Kate is distraught. She's scared of losing her title, which doesn't make sense. You're sick, Kate. You don't lose your title when you get sick. You are in danger of losing your title when you get divorced, you know? Anyway, guys, let me know what you think about this. Did your heart skip a beat the way my heart did? Let me know in the comment section down below. And as usual, we'll chat. That's all for now. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.